Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. We're really excited to have you all here and appreciate you taking the time to learn more about HubSpot. In this session, we will explore how HubSpot can help you, marketers, attract, nurture, and convert leads all within one platform. We do have a lot of great content to cover, and we will also have a time at the end for a Q&A session, but also feel free to send us any questions you have as we go along here in the chat. Also, I would like to inform you that this session is being recorded and the recording will be sent to you after the webinar. Let's get started. Firstly, I would like to introduce you to our speakers. Today, we have three amazing experts joining us. First, we have Stasia, Senior Account Executive Team Lead at HubSpot. Stasia has over 8 years of experience in the ad tech industry and has closed contracts worth over $1 million, helping clients with strategic support, marketing strategies, and budget planning. Hello, Stasia, welcome. Next, we have Kirill, our HubSpot expert with 12 plus years of sales experience. Kirill has worked across various industries, helping businesses optimize sales processes, enhance analytics, and develop effective growth strategies. And we are super excited to have our client with us today, Maria Simon, founder of Maramio. Maria leads sales and marketing, transforming corporate gifting by connecting businesses with independent brands and wholesalers, while also providing seamless logistics platform. Thank you all for joining us today. Before we jump into today's content, I would like to quickly introduce you to Cloudfresh. We are founded in 2017. We are a Platinum HubSpot partner, and we specialize in the full spectrum services such as auditing, digital transformation, implementation, migration, integration, and onboarding for every hub in HubSpot ecosystem. In addition, as you can see on the slides, we are a global partner of other leading cloud solutions, including Asana, Google Cloud, Zendesk, GitLab, Microsoft, Miro, and Okta. And we have a presence in over 50 countries and a trust of more than 1,400 customers. And talking about our customers, here are some of the amazing companies we have worked with. We are proud to support top brands across different industries such as PwC, Deloitte, SoftServe, Vodafone, and many others. Last but not least, from my side, I would like to highlight that recently we have also received 2 awards from Good Firms, a leading B2B review company. The awards we received are Trusted Choice and Best Company to Work With, and our total rating on this platform is 4.9 out of 5. On this note, I would like to pass the mic to Stasia, who will lead you through an amazing HubSpot functionality for marketers. Stasia, the mic is yours.
Hello, everyone. So today we'll be speaking about HubSpot, focusing around marketing and content creation. But before we start, guys, may I ask you please in the chat to put plus if you already use HubSpot or maybe used it in the past. So that would help us to understand more about the audience who is visiting us today. And also we would have some bonuses for, doesn't matter if you are user or soon to be user, we will speak about it later. Okay, brilliant. I even see some of my customers. Hello, guys. Very, very nice to see you here. So we are happy to see both customers, soon-to-be customers, or just our colleagues from the industry. Okay, that's nice. Nice, cool. Let's get started. I'm excited. So, dear marketers, as we all know, there is a timeless tension for all of us. And of course, you want to drive more revenue, you have to lower costs, you have to keep up with a lot of data and to keep everyone accountable. But yeah, of course, in a crisis of disconnection, and what it means based on the data which we collected in HubSpot, 69% of marketers don't report strong alignment with the sales teams. And on top of that, buyer data is scattered, meaning that 81% of marketers feel they don't have access to very high quality data. So the budgets are shrinking, and on top of that, there is a risk of connection grows harder, and the cost of doing nothing is, of course, also increasing. And we noticed that our companies, the customers, are obsessed with data, and they want to keep the data connected, to have this strong connection between marketing team and, of course, sales team. And what we see also the old way of creating customers is that first it was like anonymous who comes to your website, then they would say use your blog content that is generated by your company, then they become a contact, you send some emails, and then it's a customer. That's already one time in the past. Currently, of course, we have multi-channels journey where people want to see about your brand on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever you name it. What are your main channels? And of course, the experience has to be personalized so that your brand, product, or service stands out of the crowd and sticks to your contact, so that afterwards, when they become your customer, they could already know your brand, and you could also be in the position to do upsells and cross-sells. So, of course, we want to help you to create content in many formats across all the channels that are important for you and keep it up to date. And so we will show you today how you could personalize content with HubSpot, how you could publish it in the right time, how you could automate, how you could check the results with the help of reporting, and we will support you across the entire customer journey. So that said, Marketing Hub, in short, helps you to drive revenue, save time, optimize your investments, and reposition it as easy, fast, and unified way for marketers. So the main pain points which were identified by our customers related to marketing area were that it's hard to break through all the noise, then demands are growing but resources are flat, and it's hard to measure effectiveness. And of course, this leads to the business impact, to loss of revenue, lack of leads, missed good opportunities, and the teams are spread thin, and loss in revenue due to ineffective campaigns. So the solution we are offering is, of course, personalized marketing with the help of email, mobile, social media ads, web, video, and much more. And we also help you to scale with the help of our AI assistants, brands of voice, content remix, collaborative tools, and last but not least, of course, multi-touch revenue attribution, customer journey, and much more. That's what Kirill will show us today a little bit later. So Marketing Plus, or it's a combination of Marketing Hub and Content Hub, would help you to give you time back and optimize your AI efforts. That was the introduction to our today lecture. And for our dear people who never used HubSpot, we encourage you to submit this form to get 1 month free trial of any HubSpot hub that you want to test. And for our fellows who are already using HubSpot, for instance, you guys use Marketing Hub, but you never had a chance to try Content Hub, you could also scan this QR code, submit the form, and afterwards request, let's say, a trial of the Content Hub. Or, for instance, you guys want to try maybe sales tools or customer support, maybe operations, whatever it is. Or maybe you use Marketing Professional, you want to try Enterprise. Everything is possible. Just use this QR code. You would see it also at the end of the presentation. So feel free to do so. And on top of that, you could also get a consultation from Cloudfresh, where they could also show you a tailored demo for your use cases. So now I'm giving the word to Kirill. Kirill, please, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Stasia. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. And so I love those type of webinars to be not just like promotional or advertising. So I want this webinar as well to bring some knowledge, some experience sharing to you as well. So I encourage you to put your questions down in a chat, and we will actually respond to them precisely, directly. And if not, if we're not capable of doing that during this webinar, it's definitely a great opportunity to have a personalized call, I would say the free consultation or audit session with us in the next couple days. If you wish to book this session, you can do that. But what I want to get from this webinar, what I want you to get from this webinar is actually some valuable insights, or something that will drive you to think about how this or that process currently works in your company, and whether you want to improve it or you want to put like more efforts in that or less efforts. And so speaking of that, I was recently watching, not recently, probably last year, watching the video where one of the top marketeers of the Silicon Valley, she was actually speaking about there are two parts that are driving marketing, right? So the first part, and they are interacting like fuel and engine. So fuel is the content, and engine is the variety of channels that we use to spread this content, right? So, for example, we can write the brilliant, perfect article that answers all the questions in the area of the expertise that you are selling, for example, or about the product that you are selling. You may not use or leverage the channels to spread this content properly, or probably you are under leveraging or leveraging or over leveraging the channel that is not working, for example. And so in that regard, I would say that the primary goal of HubSpot is actually giving you the tools and the means for you to be able to analyze and see as a consolidated picture in one place what is actually effective and efficient for your business and what is not. And so this includes several parts, including like lead generation. And let's start with that. And so when we're talking about the lead generation, we are using like several channels. Apparently, one of them is like social media. And there are some weird things going on with social, right? So we all know that the algorithms are continuously changing. At some point, you probably heard those stories, or probably not, but I'll tell you. If not, some of the media companies, the biggest media companies of the United States, they went bankrupt in just a one day, being like a 500 million revenue company because Facebook changed the algorithm back in 2016 or 2014. I don't honestly remember the year. But so there is this weird thing that we have to control, and we have to keep our hand on pulse, right? Towards how our social perform. Basically, do we post the appropriate content, how people react to that content, and most important thing is to actually have it linked towards the overall customer journey or lead journey, if you wish, and then being able to analyze which touch points, which social publications, which activities in your social media bring the most valuable input into the conversion of the potential customer to your actual existing customer. And so this apparently includes the ability to monitor everything. And one of the most important things is monitoring the sentiment and analysis of the sentiment of the social media activity, right? And so with that, as Stasa already said, some of the AI capabilities of the HubSpot are, actually bringing you a huge value of keeping that and bringing that into your attention at the particular moment of time where you need that, right? So it might be like a weekly time range or whatever you want to set this up to bring it to your Slack channel notification or email or just a dashboard within the HubSpot. And so the next thing, big thing, is of course the paid ads. And so while we are talking about all those channels, apparently you do use some of them or all of them, and you might ask a question like, why are we discussing this? The biggest thing about that is, of course, a consolidation again. And so when we're talking about the consolidation, what does that mean? It means that when we open the ticket or the card of a potential customer, of a lead or contact, whatever, we can see all the interactions that this particular lead took to get to the point where he or she is currently in our pipeline. So we can see all the interactions with the website, with the social media, with ads, with everything. And this consecutively brings us to the point where we can build the comprehensive reporting just in one place without the need to bring up like the team of analytics, the Tableau or Power BI or Looker or whatsoever the system you want to use. Even if we are talking about the like specialized tools like Amplitude, for example, this still would be something that you need to synchronize with the other tools in your tech stack to understand the performance of this or that particular campaign. And so when we're talking about this, so all those instruments, they are building into HubSpot. Sorry. And then we can unite them for the analytical purposes by campaigns. So we can bring into campaigns several assets of different types, like landing pages, call to actions, some blog pages, paid ads, social media posts, and we can bring them in one campaign and evaluate the performance of this particular campaign. And then we can take several campaigns and bring them up by channels or by sources, and then analyze the performance of an impact of social media in there, the ads in there, and so on and so forth. So the huge benefit of using, for example, the Marketing Hub Professional, at least, because that functionality is available in Professional Hub, for that thing is that you can be in control of all touch points of your potential customers just in one place without the need to build like the consolidated report in somewhere in the third-party tool. And speaking of Google Ads, by the way, one of the biggest thing I love about HubSpot is that there are businesses. Well, e-commerce is the great example where you can use Google Analytics to set up, and Google Tag Manager to set up the events and track the conversions and calculate the ROI and ROMI directly from Google Analytics. There are the other businesses like B2B, for example, like software businesses, like B2B offline businesses, where you may use this tool for lead generation, but you further cannot track the ROI because the sale itself is not an event on the website, right? So you cannot bring this information back to the Google. And then HubSpot actually gives you an opportunity to get back to Google and tell him like, this is the lead that is better than the other 20 leads that you brought from that campaign. So how that happens is that your salespeople or your account managers or whatever the process looks like in your company, they put some particular properties or some particular comments, or they do some particular actions that lead to the life cycle stage change within the HubSpot. And this life cycle stage gets back to Google and telling Google that, hey, this is something that we need more than those other leads who are not converting. And so this is a great tool that serves you to optimize your expenses for Google Ads, right? So this is a huge thing. Anyway, I know that if you're doing that like really, really deep, you do that via the API, and you know your way around that. But for those who didn't know, for example, about that, or for those who do not have resources to bring that to life within the company, HubSpot is actually giving you that resource. And this is like super simple. You connect your cabinet and you just make it happen. It's as simple as that. So nothing technical, no code, nothing like that. So that is a great opportunity to optimize your expenses within usage of Google paid advertisement. And so, of course, as well, when we're talking about the marketing activities, we're speaking about the set of tools that we are using, right? And when we are planning our quarters, our years, we have to plan our budgets. And software is one of the, significant category in that regard for marketing, at least, right? And so when we are speaking about the SEO and the other stuff, we are primarily speaking about the tools like Ahrefs or the SEMrush or any other of them. And so one of the major functionality of those tools is to give you insights on your technical SEO, right? So on the errors on your website, technical errors and all that stuff. So with HubSpot, you can cross out this expense from your budget, having it again all in one with HubSpot. And so it will give you not only the technical insights, technical errors that you have, it also will give you the recommendations and issues towards your content and actionable steps apparently to resolve those issues within your strategy. So that is about, I would say, the shortcuts, the budget savings in that regard. So you're not only investing in the tool if you're not yet using it, you are, well, actually saving some cost from the other tools. And who knows, maybe HubSpot can actually cover all that cost and even save you some couple €100 a month, which is not bad at all. You can spend that on the ads or on something else that can bring you more clients, potential clients. Apart from that, of course, in HubSpot, they do have those like conversational bots that are AI driven and all that stuff. And you can, of course, use them. You can leverage them to convert people even from the very first interactions. So you can set up the qualification criteria. You can arrange some scenarios. Well, as typically you do with the chat bots or conversational bots on your website. And again, this functionality is included. So if you pay additionally for that, for the third-party tool, in that case, that will be included into the Marketing Hub. And, which is a big thing, again, you don't need any integration. It's already within HubSpot. It comes directly to the contact record or the company record, wherever you want to see this information. And you can set up them those interactions as triggers to, for example, split this or that topic of conversation to two different salespeople, for example. So if there's like a bigger request and you have like more experienced salesperson, you might want to give this lead to this person and that one, the small one, to the less experienced salesperson. So whatever you wish to organize your process within your company. And so I know you'd love this picture because you know what is that. That is a customer journey analytics that you probably use within Google Analytics or within the Amplitude or within the other similar tools to see how those flows and those interactions are affecting and actually how your pipeline and this journey looks like. And so HubSpot brings that to life, leveraging the capability of consolidating all those channels that you connect to HubSpot and bringing it all in one screen without, again, a need to integrate that with different tools, with the third-party analytical tools whatsoever, and putting a lot of efforts on that. So you see that naturally from the built-in HubSpot analytics. And speaking of that, actually, that is a huge capability. I will tell you about this in a minute. So if you are, I saw that you have actually put a lot of pluses. So it means that like at least half of you are already using HubSpot. I am happy to chat about your system to see what you potentially could leverage more, what we could potentially optimize. 1 hour session is absolutely free if you book it. Well, from this QR code, we're not limited in time. And we can see if you can, for example, bring to life everything with your own resources. That's perfectly fine. If not, we can help you with that because we at Cloudfresh have a huge, vast experience working with the high-load systems, connecting HubSpot to whatever it may occur in your mind, and bringing into life the most complicated reports in the most simple way you can imagine, basically, to bring your data working for you, basically, because those things are about, I mean, this fuel and engine, the channels that you use, the content that you create, it's all about the numbers, right? In the end of the day, it's not even close to any subjective judgment. You either have your content and your channels convert or not. And as marketeers, we all know that this works only this way. So book your meeting, and of course, let's talk about what we can do better. The other part, and the second, I would say, step is when you know your data, when you know that you're doing the things right, you have to scale them, right? So, I mean, that's the basic principle of which the VC investors are talking, and the people who are investing, the business owners, the companies that are growing, they're talking. You're gonna find your method that works for your business, and then you scale it. And scaling is about one of the aspects of scaling is, of course, automation, right? So with that automation, the great thing is that, again, everything is in HubSpot, and this brings the ability to be on top of what is happening just to your fingertips. And so this Home for Marketeers is one of the great examples where you can see all the data towards all your like campaigns that are running, the number of leads you're generating, some insights, some sentiment analysis. So everything just in one dashboard. Basically, that is a dashboard, and so that's like a homepage, like a Home for Marketeers. Well, I wouldn't say home, like second home, but anyway, that's a page or the moment where you start your day with or your week with, and see like how everything performs and how everything works within the thing that you do. Messaging insights, again, that's a thing that analyzes the content that you use, this fuel that you put into your engine, and see and give you the idea, the overview of how it works, right? So, for example, this piece of content for this audience works better than that piece of content for that audience. So that also includes the AI, I would call it the applied AI, the AI that brings the real life value to your business, because everybody uses this AI buzzword, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have something useful from that. Well, here in HubSpot, you actually do, because it gives you the real information, the real data to make some decisions towards the continue running this or that campaign, for example, or scaling this or that campaign, because that would be higher ROI and more customers, more paying customers. Essentially, one of the things that you either use with HubSpot or you use as a third-party tool is the email marketing tool. And so I know there is a lot of discussions about that, and there are a lot of opinions, but I would say there are two types of emails: marketing emails and sales emails. And we all know that there is a difference between them. However, there is a certain percentage of people from the industry even who are saying that, for example, the outbound sales emails are like email marketing. It is not an email marketing. We can discuss that, by the way. If you wish, you can book the time for that in particular. And so speaking about that, the HubSpot covers all those types of emails, right? So the outbound sales emails, and one of the tools that marketeers leverage is the email marketing tools, where you have to acquire the consent from the person who you send in the email, and all that stuff, all those consents, cookies, everything is available and controllable via HubSpot, so you can leverage this functionality. And if you use something third party, you can, of course, replace it with HubSpot as well. Segmentation tools, lists, the set of custom properties that you may want to create to control and build your own lists and segments that can be active and static. So you can put some criteria. When this criteria is met, the person or the lead is getting to that list, and vice versa. So there are some tools for primarily for mobile and for B2C that are doing that things that are based on the event streaming and synchronization between the database, which actually shows some particular events. If you don't have this type of business, there is no no practical value to pay the money for those services. I'm in particular talking about the services like Customer IO, those services that are heavily event based, so they are for the industries and products that are dependent in their retention and their profit for the particular real-time events. So if you don't have these and you are using that tool, that's probably a wrong choice, because that tool is much more expensive than HubSpot with all the same capabilities and much more on top of that. By the way, I'm not saying that Customer is a bad thing. It's just like a special industry niche tool, which is a great tool, by the way. And so campaign management, one of the things that are, again, the greatest is that you can unify and consolidate the assets that are separately created in one campaign and track the omni-channel campaign performance for a particular life event, for example, like, I don't know, in flower industry, that will be the Valentine's Day. In I don't know, in electronics or in e-com, that will be the Black Friday. So you can create the campaign and unify, put all the assets within this campaign and track the omni-channel single campaign performance. And then, as I said, you can also track the performance of different channels through the campaigns, which is also great. Lead scoring. Well, I trust this is one of the most familiar way to actually organize the understanding which lead is more warm and which lead needs to be nurtured. But in some cases, for example, I know that like back in the years, like I'm speaking about 2015, 2016, 17, in the solutions like Salesforce, in the solutions like there was back in time Infusionsoft, and even in HubSpot, the lead scoring was automated. So it was based on the algorithms that are leveraged and trained by HubSpot, by Salesforce, and the other companies. So today, HubSpot is giving you an opportunity to build your own lead scoring system, which will be based on the criteria that you are the one to identify. So this is the great thing in terms that you know your audience, you analyze your audience, you know how you interact with your audience. And so based on that, you can change the criteria on the go and see how it performs and see how it works for your particular business. And so reporting is outstanding in HubSpot. You can literally build whatever reports you may want to build. You can see every tiny piece of information on your fingertips again. You can split it by the parameters that you want, and that is an amazing thing. And so A/B testing is an essential part. I wouldn't say anything about that even. Custom objects and custom events. One of the greatest things is custom events for marketeers. If you have, again, the products that now have some cabinet, for example, or that's a subscription, or that's just a gated content or whatsoever, where you need to track the interactions between your customer, existing customer, or the lead, for example, even if you have a trial version. And based on that, you make the decision where to show this or that proposal, this or that feature to offer, this or that email to send. The custom events are something like Google Tag Manager, where you can actually track all those events and make them get into HubSpot and be a trigger for this or that certain workflow or qualification or call or email or whatsoever. So this is a great thing, again, because there is, again, everything in one place. multi-touch revenue attribution, that's something that Stasia said that is also fallen under the custom report, and I'm already out of my time. So what I will sum this up, and I will say the following: before we get all those things and we get this outstanding, amazing reporting, one of the biggest things is to think and understand that your data architecture is correct for the analytical purposes. And so the foundation, I would say, for the proper analytics, for proper decision making, for data-driven decision making, is the data architecture. And I hope Maria will tell a bit more about that later as well, because this is one of the most important aspects, and we worked on that aspect with Maria as well. And that being said, again, if you want to take a look, another look into your architecture, book a call and we'll do that together. If you have any questions towards those two blogs and the next blogs that Stasia will present, please put them as well in the chat and we will get back to them in the end of our session. Thank you so much for your attention. Stasia, I'm giving the mic back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Kirill. So we will finish the part about HubSpot from Kirill's and my side by sharing about content creation. And for those who use HubSpot for quite some time, maybe you remember that we had a hub called CMS Hub. Currently, it's called Content Hub, and it was used for website creation. So it was originally created for this, but it was afterwards extended. Now we have much more functionality. Also, of course, our buzzword AI added there to make your website building even easier. And of course, apart from building websites on HubSpot, what you can do, you could create landing pages. And you could also use our AI landing page builder to create different automated forms, meeting links added to your landing page, and much more. And of course, you could add your call to actions, no matter to your website or to your landing page. And you could also manage the content in a smart way, meaning that, let's say, if there is already some information collected about your customer prospect, let's say you know their name, surname, business email, you could make call to actions interactive so that they will start asking some additional questions so that you could gather even more information about your prospect customer to have a full profile. And you could also use, that one was already covered by Kirill, chatbots and live chats. Of course, you could also automate it, and this would help you to save your time before introducing to the actual specialist from your side. The prospect would be already informed, let's say, by sharing the article to your knowledge base or by covering your Q&A with the help of chatbot. Then we have a content agent, and this one, even though it says here in beta, now it's already live and everyone can have access to it. So what you guys can do, you could create with the help of AI and HubSpot blog posts, podcast, landing pages, automated emails, whatever you think about content. And afterwards, when you create such type of content, it would be SEO optimized, and you could do it in multiple languages and use our AI for translation. When you create one part of content, just for the sake of example, let's say you guys decided to do a blog post with the help of HubSpot, you could afterwards recycle this content, and from one part of content, you could create multiple contact campaigns. For example, you could see here from blog post, we created ads, audio, landing page, marketing email, and this way it would be focused around one topic, but you would save your time by creating just one part of content, and afterwards AI does, you could outsource it to AI to replicate it to other social media channels or your marketing communication channels. And after you created this content, you could use HubSpot to embed this content to your website or maybe landing page or whenever you want. And you could use HubSpot. I think this video is not working. Apologies for this, guys, but you will get the presentation and you could also see the video. But basically what was shown here is that when you upload video to HubSpot, you could also create shorts, you could create reels, you could also adjust the videos if you want to, let's say, combine them between each other, or you can use it for, let's say, taking out some AI pictures out of it. That's always possible. And we can also, of course, support you with analytics and custom reporting, and by giving you also AI insights in the key trends of your marketing campaigns, no matter if it's user acquisition or if that was some retargeting lookalike campaign. And lastly, of course, we know that you use a lot of softwares in your daily life and you want to keep all of them connected. And HubSpot could be one of these stop shops where you could connect all of your, let's say, I don't know, Slack or maybe Zoom, maybe some ERP or whatever other tool. So you could have the overview of all your data in one place. That such Marketing Hub could help you to benefit by creating 33% more closed-won deals after 1 year, almost 3 times higher deal close rate, and 9 times more inbound leads. So here is the famous QR code that we already discussed with Kirill and myself. Please don't lose the opportunity to get the free trial and consultation from Cloudfresh. And afterwards, I'm giving the stage to Maria. Maria, please. Oh, sorry, here is some information about, yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Stasia. Yeah, very impressive to see where HubSpot is going. My name is Maria, and what I will be talking about actually will put everyone a little bit step back. It's not about what HubSpot offers in general, but it's about our experience as a company of migrating to HubSpot, how we made this decision, how we did it. Yeah, my name is Maria. I'm the founder and CEO of Maramio. Before we dive into, let me just give some context on what we do and what is my personal background. Let me just figure out how to switch. Okay, it works. Maramio is a B2B platform that transforms how companies handle branded merchandise. We make it easier for companies to source, design, and distribute corporate swag. It can be also called corporate gifting. And yeah, we provide a platform for companies like Grammarly, Miro, Coinbase to do it in one place. What sets us apart is the platform that not only provides the access to different manufacturers, but also our logistics hub or logistics infrastructure. We are proud to help such companies, like I already named, to streamline their whole logistic operations in different countries. Which means that they buy products from us, they store it at our warehouse, and we created the software for them to distribute it to different locations. I know that this webinar is for marketers, so I think the closest use case that we can understand is merchandise for conferences, events, or ambassadors or clients who you're trying to onboard. Now, as a growing company, we needed a CRM that would keep up with our growing sales and expansion. So today I will walk you through why we choose HubSpot, how we implemented the migration, and what impact we actually saw. Now, in B2B sales, as many of you probably know, there is a sales cycle. It may take several months in some cases. In our case, we are not in the business which is urgent or which is must-have. We are in the good-to-have category. So it means that timing is quite important for us. And there are a lot of touch points before the lead will actually convert to becoming a customer. So we needed a CRM that would track these interactions and would track these touch points and be able to indicate the readiness of the lead. Give me a second. This is how our CRM looked. So our sales started with a one-man show, which was me, and I onboarded a very easy-to-go, very plug-and-play solution. It sits on top of your Gmail. Nothing needs to be set up, which was the main benefit. However, at some point, we realized that there is a lack of visibility on our sales dynamics and our sales process. And most importantly, at some point, it became very painful that we had to track lead sources manually. At some point, the team has extended, so we ended up in the situation when we have some sort of solution that helps us to push the leads through the pipeline, but we don't have the visibility on the whole picture. And to onboard new team members, we had to expand our plan and buy more seats. And at some point, we started to evaluate actually if the solution that we currently have is the most efficient that can be or that exists on the market. And this is when I compared different options, including HubSpot, and we ended up with a HubSpot. And there are three main reasons why. So number one is what the guys were talking a lot about, is that HubSpot is, in my opinion, is the only solution that gives you visibility on the user level, meaning that you can connect your marketing and sales, you can see it down to the lead, and you can qualify it down to the lead and send it back to your marketing or acquisition channels. I come from a performance marketing background, which is very digitalized, very transparent, easy tracking. With sales, I learned that it's not the case. You need a solution that would be able to help you to do that. And maybe if you're very hacky, you can create it with multiple tools. Maybe you can use some tools that allow you to identify your visitor to the user level, and then you can connect analytics, and then you can connect your CRM. But having HubSpot as a one solution helps a lot. You don't need to do it. Then second thing for us was the ecosystem around HubSpot. And what I mean by that we are in the physical goods business. Again, coming from a performance marketing background, working with a lot of digital-only products, a lot of tools or a lot of tools in the marketplaces of CRMs, they would be for digital-only products. We work with warehouses, we work with very specific operational tools, which not the first priority, let's say, for many CRMs. And having the ecosystem that either has integrations with our tools or has API where we will be able to integrate it was important for us. And number three, may be a bit of surprise for some who see HubSpot as an expensive tool, especially on pro and enterprise plans. But for us, comparing HubSpot on the starter plan, and we are in starter plan, with other CRMs, lower tiers, it ended up to be more cost efficient for our needs than other tools plus integrations with tools that we needed. So this is why we ended up with HubSpot. And the first idea was, okay, fine, we are tech savvy enough, we're gonna migrate ourselves. And we were living in this hope for some time, kind of procrastinating. So at some point, the decision was made to, okay, we need someone definitely to push us and to help us to migrate. Why it happened, I think, is because what Kirill said is about data infrastructure. We were not familiar with the data infrastructure of HubSpot, and it was taking us time to actually understand how to migrate from a very easy solution that we had on top of Gmail to the data infrastructure that is more sophisticated that HubSpot is offering. And in this regard, working with Cloudfresh helped because they were able to ask us right questions on our sales process in order to transform what we had into the data infrastructure that HubSpot offers. And HubSpot, they know about the sales process more than we do. So it helped us to actually understand a lot about our sales process. That was our home task, to create a table with definitions, how we qualified, etc. We didn't have it before we had to implement the new infrastructure. Then once this is done, Cloudfresh was setting up the pipelines, properties, cleaning up the data. And yeah, they were basically migrating all the data. Example of what we found 282 missing sources in the old CRM. Again, why it happened? Because it's not automated. So the human needed to fill it in. And as you can imagine, it's prone to mistake. It's prone to forgetting doing this. And it's not something that would ever happen in HubSpot, for example. And the last part after migration, what Cloudfresh was useful with is to create the reporting that we needed. HubSpot by itself, even in the starter plan, offers quite extensive variety of reports, but we needed a specific thing, which was cohorted reports by weeks and months. And this is something that Cloudfresh was able to do using the API. And this is something we maybe wouldn't do ourselves. And yeah, here we are. I think we migrated end of November, so we are only at 3 months of using HubSpot. It's still very early for us, but overall, in terms of results, I cannot give you, a ROI number, but I would love to, but it's just too early yet. In general, what we got twice cheaper tool for the visibility that we were aiming. And by visibility, I mean the team that collaborates in the CRM with the data on people broken down by sources, channels, and some custom properties we have. Number 2 is the process. We did clean up a lot of our process segmentation, and what Kirill was saying about that HubSpot by itself, when I think of it as a database that you can slice and dice the way you want it, and it does offer a lot of information on your clients, so you can build up the segments and then you can re-engage with those segments. And for us, again, I cannot give the number on the revenue impact, but we do see a shorter sales cycle and increased win rate. And this is sort of a consequence of us cleaning up the process as well, because we understand better who should not enter the sales process in general. Yeah, I think this is briefly from us. If you are planning to run any merch campaign for your brand ambassadors, for your clients, feel free to reach out. Also, I would be super interested to speak with someone who are at the same stage of using HubSpot as us to exchange how you guys doing it. Yeah, so please reach out.
Thank you very much, Maria, for joining and sharing your story with HubSpot. I hope this was helpful and interesting to some of those in our audience who are considering migrating to HubSpot. And I think we can open the stage for questions, and I see one coming in right now from Valeria. So how does HubSpot help to measure ROI? Kirill or Stasia, maybe you would like to take this one on.
Yeah, let me pick this up one and respond it. So that's a great question. Thank you for that. So the main thing how HubSpot can help is actually to attribute properly the revenue that is generated by certain channels, and then get this data and put this data towards the expenses that we actually spent on generating this revenue. So the revenue attribution, the proper revenue attribution, is the biggest, well, I would say, challenge in calculating and measuring ROI. And so in that regard, I may also refer to the experience that that I have. So typically there are two standard ways that are the most popular, the most widespread to measure the ROI. It's by create date and by close date of the deal, which in my humble opinion is totally incorrect. Because, for example, if you're not an enterprise, and if you are like a business that is deciding whether to continue the investment in marketing in the next quarter, in the next 2 quarters, that's completely wrong, and inevitably money losing approach. Because the correct attribution would be the date of the creation of the contact that led to the revenue, to the deal closure, apparently. And so this is one of the things that as well is to be discussed from one business to another. It depends on the criteria, when you open the deal, how you open the deal, how much do you spend on marketing, and all that stuff. But in particular, that is the case, again, as I said, for the businesses that are, for example, using the outsourced marketing agencies and want to understand how they perform, and do they want to continue with those services or not. And so, unfortunately, because of the shift in the perception of understanding how to calculate ROI to the particular towards the particular industry, the business, the stage of this business whatsoever, because there are so many moving parts like sales cycle, lead cycle, customer journey, number of interactions, average deal size, and all that stuff. So many moving parts in this equation that this actually is difficult, and it varies from one case to another. So if you want in particular to discuss yours, Valeria, you're very welcome. I'm happy to have this conversation with you. Please book the call and we'll talk about that.
Thank you, Kirill. We have one more pretty lengthy question from Reka. Thanks for asking. It's about AI and repurposing the content. So Stasia, maybe you could cover this one.
Yeah, of course, happy to cover it. So first of all, I would like to highlight, and thank you for the question, that HubSpot AI is more like an assistant rather than an autopilot. So you could use AI to generate some sort of drafts, and then like you could also input your parts of the content, let's say that you created in the past, and the HubSpot could be educated about, let's say, your brand of voice, so that the content which AI is generating is already learning from your existing content. So you could upload some parts, let's say, from your website, from your blog posts, when you create a new blog post with the help of AI, so that AI would try to incorporate your style, and then like this would increase the quality of content and make it more applicable to your business niche. And apart from that, you said that you use currently Figma for your designs, and you could also integrate Figma designs with HubSpot AI powered emails, for example, and this way you could also kind of use our HubSpot drag and drop editor and combine it with your visuals that you already guys created in the past, so that the content would look more or less like in the same style and aligned with your business needs. But otherwise, I would just recommend also, if you never tried Content Hub, to submit the form to try the trial, so that you could see yourself what capabilities exist and how you could play with them. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, Stasia. I hope that answers the question. And actually, one more question about the content. Does HubSpot have a content planning and scheduling functionality for social media?
Yes and yes.
I can also add from our side, because we at Cloudfresh, we are also active users of HubSpot, and we were using HubSpot even before we became a partner, and we absolutely love it, and we use it for this type of requests. And as Stasia mentioned, if you're curious to give it a try, fill out the form, and we'll be happy to walk you through all the functionality and give you a personalized demo. And I'll reshare the form link here in the chat. And one more we have SEO. So as I understand this question, does HubSpot have the functionality similar to SEMrush? For example, competitors analysis, keyword ranking, if the website is created in HubSpot CMS. Kirilo or Stasia, would love to hear your thoughts on this.
I can answer. So it's very easy. We have a direct integration with SEMrush. So the moment you create content, no matter if it's, let's say, marketing email or blog post, it is already SEO optimized. And you could also, when you create content, I would recommend to choose the country which you are targeting. Let's say if it's US, put US, or maybe if it's Canada, put Canada, whatever, or multi-countries. Why? Because SEMrush would analyze the SEO for particular region. And this way, when you create content, it would populate it with the requests which are most popular for your industry in your particular country where you want to target your content. And also when you create the parts of content, there would be also like highlights from the right side, which would be showing like hints from SEMrush, how you could, let's say, adjust it, and some suggestions. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Tasha. Great. I think we can call it a day. We don't have any more questions. So thank you all for your attention, for joining. It's been a pleasure having you all with us, and we hope this session was helpful. As mentioned before, we will be sending a webinar recording as well as the slides that you've seen today later in the day. So feel free to check it out. And on the slide, you can also see our contact information, our website, and our contact email, hi@cloudfresh.com. So if you have any more questions regarding HubSpot or any other cloud solutions, feel free to reach out to us, and we will be happy to help you. Thank you all, and have a great rest of the day.